Hey, good morning,
Good afternoon
good evening,
and good night.
and welcome to Bucktown, Cipha.
Yeah, this is my brother, my PNC, Peter Rosenberg.
Oh, that's right. And I'm from Chevy Chase, Maryland, a place originally known as the original home for the original gun
Yeah.
clappers. Not a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
The original. If you can't tell by our terrible jokes, dad jokes, Smif-N-Wessun are on the show right now. Tech and Steel, what up?
Bucktown,
How you guys?
baby.
How you guys feel about that song "Black Trump" now? Huh? How you feel about Black Trump now?
You gonna start? You going right in, huh? You going right in?
Right in.
Yo, by the way, Siph, you might as well get like our good social clip out of the way that Emilio would be excited about.
I tell you what. I have an answer for that.
Okay.
We adore the hustlers. We always looked up to the hustlers.
Yes.
As New Yorkers, we looked up to the hustlers. And Trump, as we all know, is a hustler. He's a hard grinding hustler, and we see that. So when that song came out, when we say Black Trump, we talking about all of the black guys in the hood hustlers that have that hustling mentality. So that's really what we got. And that hustler is a grimy dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see, I was about to say, because you're not talking about like hustler, like the last guy on the bench of the basketball team.
No,
you're
not
talking
that.
about we'll hustle you for the money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, no,
Every hustler is a hustler that provides for his family. Is a great hustler.
Yeah, no, it's levels. It's definitely levels. It's clearly levels to it. It's clearly levels. But
my boy, what's really crazy is my boy interviewed my other boy who was in jail for like 10 years, right? He was a hustler. And he was telling this guy that was in jail loves Trump. And he was really asking him, like really trying to break down the level of intensity of why this guy loves Trump so much. And there's a couple other people that resonated with me when he said this. They feel like a criminal, like not a criminal, but a hustler.
Like the inmates got in the yard.
Exactly. He got in and he's like, wow, if a hustler could do it, I could do it. Like not presidency, but make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. And there's a lot of dudes that are grimy that really resonate with something with Trump where like, oh shit, he dirty like me and he could do it.
Are they
you think about New York City, like we love the guys that rock the jewelry. Primarily these guys was the drug dealers.
Yeah.
You know, like it didn't make us sell drugs, but it's like we adored that.
Right.
We looked up to that. The guys with the cars, the ones the females they can get the girls and all of that. So it's like, all right, not to say they grimy, but you had New York, we call it the rotten apple for a reason. You know, and Trump is from New York, right? Like Queens.
Straight up. I got a joke I do on stage. I go, yo, he's just a dickhead from Queens. They're fun to hang out with.
Right.
He shouldn't be president. But a dickhead from Queens, they say wild shit.
We know a lot of them. We know a lot of dickheads from Queens.
You ever hang out with a couple Jet fans? They say wild shit.
Salute the Queens, get the money. Salute rest in peace to Dallas Penn. Those are some beautiful people from Queens.
Nah, but that song Black Trump still knocks though, bro.
You mean that?
It's still rocks.
Some real professionals for the jobs.
Yeah, big up to self-service. We just seen Self the other day.
And what's crazy, we were just talking about this,
Back mode.
Blazing through. Pass that African black gold over here. Blazing through. African black gold over here.
Fire. Smif-N-Wessun in the building. Infinity, a brand new album, is out right now.
But Siph, that's a perfect leadoff. That's a perfect leadoff. Instead of we normally go in like order, but like it's a perfect leadoff because that shit comes up on your streaming services as Cocoa Brothers.
Right.
And it's on the album, The Awakening, the Priority album, Rude Awakening. So I remember, by the way, Siph, I don't know why, the Priority records, I remember this so well. They always had the nastiest jackets. The material of the jacket
was cheap, right?
Was cheap. Say, like I remember my Black Trump singles. It sounded fine. You could cut with them nice, but it felt like shit. So wait, so you guys are still in your streaming world? You still have to stay separated. Your Smif-N-Wessun Duckdown stuff and your Cocoa B stuff on Priority are still separate worlds.
Yeah, that's something that we unfortunately we still working on right now. Try to rectify.
You should just re-record it.
It's
like
like
Taylor Swift.
It's like, I guess it's like the FBI and the CIA. Like they both police, but they don't really, it's still separate divisions. It's cool. It's cool. It gives us a alternative ego for some of those who started with Rude Awakening, and they can go back and see. It's a story there.
Why did it happen at that time, by the way? Can you just tell us the story of we're all Smif-N-Wessun, and then all of a sudden we get to 1997 or so.
And we was in a holding pattern. We wanted more money from Nervous. They wasn't having that. And then the gun company wanted to sue us. They gave us a cease and desist about this big size of an encyclopedia. We had no lawyers, no attorneys. The counsel that we did have wasn't fit to fight for us. So we had to make a decision. And we wanted, in order for us
you mean Drew Ha's uncle? Is he your lawyer?
No, not at the time. We at the time, that was one of our counsel. Now his dad was our counsel, as a matter of fact.
I was joking. I was just making a Jewish joke, but I guess I was right.
Nah, you close. Big Harv definitely was counseling us, rest in peace. And then we had my cousin Kenny Montgomery. At the time, he was working with the Brooklyn DA, so he couldn't help us with nothing. He was like, yo, we should fight that. We should fight that. The press would be this, that, and the third. But we still fresh off of The Shining. Like, keep it real. Like, we don't know nothing about doing that. We didn't have the right counsel to fight that fight. So for us, the best decision for us to record was to use this name. And we chose that name because it was a name that we was using due to the marrow, stuff that we was into, the cocoa stuff. Right. And we decided to not use our names Tech and Steel. We knew we didn't want to do that and have a label holding those names up. So we was like, all right, Cocoa Bros, we can explore with that. And then that's why we opened it up to the floor and had features and stuff like that. Because prior to that, we had none. So let us do a little bit more experimentation.
I mean, listen, under Cocoa Brothers, though, you guys did have your share of bangers. Since we're now working in a weird timeline, we'll stay there for a second. Because, that one-on-one,
Cocoa Brothers was fire, too, man. It brought us a lot of new family members and a lot of new listeners, too, who didn't even know who Smif-N-Wessun was at the time.
Really? That's crazy. There are people who came up to you and they're like, we found you now, and then found out about Smif-N-Wessun?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Younger folks, mostly. But, you got to keep in mind, like, Cocoa Brothers is Smif-N-Wessun. Tech and Steel is Smif-N-Wessun.
Right.
So if you split that up, like I'm Smif-N-Wessun by myself. He's Smif-N-Wessun. He's Tech. I'm Steel. Like it's still part of this one symbiotic relationship, and it gives us the opportunity to have a more in-depth story because we're not just Smif-N-Wessun. How do we become that? Well, what were we before that? He was always Tech. This is from his name. His real name is Tacoma. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, we start to utilize the things that we had as kids, and then we find more meaning as we go through it.
I mean, I always know who Tech was, and I know who Steel was, but which one was Smith and which one was Wesson?
See, man, Big's your gun too far.
See, it doesn't matter. It's Smif-N-Wessun. It's like it really don't. It's like.
The Tech Cook niggas, that's why I'm Wesson.
Smith-N-Wessun.
Oh, shit. All the time back in the day. Still to this day, there'd be some.
Still to this day, man.
You might see some press that spells Smith-N-Wessun instead of. Yeah.
They looking at you spelling it, and they still spell it. This is natural things that come to them. They like we say like Smith, like we trying to say like Swift, but it's a style,
Yeah.
And like the Wesson, we talking about we rise like the sun, like the sun. You always remember the sun. You don't S-O-N, it's S-U-N. Shine like I call it sun because he shine like one. Like all them little nuances, creative little knucklehead things.
I'm glad you said that, by the way, because we're gonna have to get some time on the I love you, because that shit was a big deal. But we'll hold on, we'll get there. I don't even know, Cipha, do you know? Because I don't, and First of all, I apologize in advance because I've known you guys for a very long time now. So there's a possibility I've asked you things and had conversations that now I'm 15 years later no longer remember. So just
okay.
Just roll with it.
It happens.
And before you say that, I would say this. Like it was a couple of moments where I was upset. Like when we did that, when they put the song on New Jersey Drive soundtrack, we actually got a plaque for that. And it's as what is that, boot camp click, or is it Cocoa Brothers? I don't think it says Cocoa Brothers or something like that.
No, I think it says Boot Camp Click. I think it says Tech the Enemy Killer or something like that.
Yeah, my name was like Mia Flea. Like we was all over the place.
Yeah, it says some type of weird shit on it.
It's like it was a plaque. Like just put this name on it. It's like, yo, you was like, all right, instead of Steel, like now we get to go. You know what? What is it? Like, who are you?
Wait, but by the way, what was on New Jersey Drive? I thought Heads Ain't Ready was on New Jersey Drive.
Yeah, Heads Ain't Ready. It's like the name, the using this just to the point of using the name Smif-N-Wessun became.
Oh, I see it now on Spotify. It says Black Moon Smif-N-Wessun, but also it has the song on a playlist. It's not actually from that anymore.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
Although I got to tell you, there's some shit on this soundtrack, bro.
New Jersey sound. Yeah, that soundtrack was ill.
This shit here.
It's the H9 affair, right? E-Brothers.
What a time, guys. What was a time in life?
What was this one?
The E-Brothers, Funky Piano.
E-Brothers?
That's Natural High right there. Rock Raider.
Oh, yeah, the Rock Raider show right there.
And it's so crazy. This whole... It just brings the pictures of the movies, just shadings of the movie into my head, just listening to that right there.
It's got a lot of joints.
I just realized I never saw the movie.
By the way, Cipha, I'd like to be the guy who sits here and lies and goes against
you. So you saw it?
I've never seen it.
That's crazy. I know the soundtrack so well.
Yeah, this
just
song,
when you said images of the movie, I'm like,
I was like, what images?
Seen the movie.
That's how powerful the music was.
Right.
And
it
the movement
just fits the time, like everything.
The time, everything was so lit. Then you had that. What was that basketball thing they had going on at the time too?
I don't know, in New Jersey.
Not the above the rim thing.
Nah.
And one.
And the and one. After that, it was just hype. It was exciting.
This is what I always think of when I think of New Jersey Drive. I think of this.
It's real. Give up that money. Don't shut down on the player. You got to give a just the low down and I'm low key. I get you loose like the deuce. OZ. Niggas know me.
It's funny because I don't think of Heads Ain't Ready because all of us already knew Heads Ain't Ready. Like, it was, you were ahead.
It was before the soundtrack, right?
Yeah, they put it on afterwards.
I that's probably why I ain't really respect that plaque. I'm like, that's not really.
Nah, but Heads Ain't Ready though, bro.
But that is
we had Black Moon.
Both parts were super dope.
Super dope.
We had Black Moon. We had Smif-N-Wessun. You guys were in our eyes fully established artists that we loved, and then the Heads Ain't Ready shit came out, and it was like, oh, they here to stay. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit, that fucking beat came in. Ooh.
By the way,
here
we go. Since we're right there.
See, there we go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait, but isn't Can't You See Total on the same soundtrack?
Yes. That's on there too.
This was a time zone right here. This was a time capsule right here.
Heads ain't ready for the click we got.
Then even this, you had Crooklyn. Then you had Above the Rim soundtrack.
From my chest to my head. When the Buddha bless my head, then the eyes are red.
So the question I was going to ask you, Cipha, and I don't know the answer, and then I apologize because maybe I knew and don't know now. What's the original way that Smif-N-Wessun ends up being a part of boot camp? Who's the connect with? Is it you guys and Buckshot? Evil D? What is the in? How does Smif-N-Wessun end up in boot camp?
He created it.
Yeah.
From all together at the same time?
Nah. Boot camp comes from. I had something that had started like prior to that called MOST. Stood for Major Organized Sound Troopers.
Okay.
Right. And this was just like us. Rock was there. Tech was always there, but he wasn't rhyming yet. You know, like just playing around with raps, freestyling in the crib, rhyming over instrumentals and stuff like that. And it also stood for Man of Steel. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, Man of Steel by like MC Steel. And then running with Decepticons, right? Decepticons is a close-knit family. As you can see, my Decepticons.
R.I.P. to Rumble, Stone,
Word up.
Strong.
So took those assets and applied it to the rap part. Like me and Tech was already family, both Decept running around. Rock was rapping. He was the guy that he lived in Cephalo Projects. When I met him, he was rapping already. Sean Price, I knew him in Brownsville, Heritage House. And Strang in Louisville. Louisville lived in the same building as Rock. And so, you know, these guys was all like in my neighborhood. Tech was like the special weapon, was a secret weapon because he was all in the style. So when he came to Brownsville, it was like, I get to be like, you know, that was props for me. Bring him around the hood. And they just was scared of him because they didn't know if he was going to rap, beat somebody up. They didn't know what he was doing. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, he was more like you say security vibe. Like
it's deeper than rap, man.
It's deeper than rap. So it wasn't boot camp yet. You know what I mean? We was just all just rhyming and doing stuff around in the hood. And then you know, later on I met Buckshot. And you know, we just took that up and we formulated. Me and Tech would sit around and try to come up with names for things. So boot camp was one of the ones.
So
we was always. My family is heavy in the military, so it was already grounded in those morals and principles and all the fatigue. I was already rocking that high school, the boots and everything.
Well, who's military? Parents?
Not really my parents so much, more of my brothers and my uncles were military.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, so I almost went that route, but then they came back and it was like, yo, we found something in your piss. You're not gonna be able to go.
Relax.
I was like, what? Okay, because shit, I had changed my mind then anyway. I was like, nah, I'm not going to the army.
Wow.
So
hip hop history could have been completely different.
So Tech used to come to school with combat boots on.
But this was actually military issue uniform from my brother would go wherever he'd be stationed at or come home from his duty, and he'll bring the military trunk and be like, yo, this is for you. And it would be so dope because it would have my last name Williams already stitched in. So it was
love that shit.
What?
It was like you know what I'm saying? It was there already.
Wow.
So it was like second thought. But it was one day in the lunchroom, Tech, our other PNC Cookie Head, and myself.
R.I.P. Rambo Sean Grady.
We said, yo, we gotta all start wearing Timberlands. And then that was it. From there, we wore Timberlands. We was on a Timberland mission.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then we took that boot wearing stuff and we took it all the way to like here. We got a little crazy with it.
So it was always push-ups and fatigues and Timbs.
Damn.
Tim's all season for ass-kicking reasons.
Where's Buckshot at this time?
Nobody even knew him yet.
Wasn't even
a thought yet.
Both met. I think we both met Buckshot through his sister Tracy through night school at different times. I met her in. Yeah, you don't remember what night school was? Like when you was acting up in regular day school and you didn't get all your credits, you couldn't graduate. You had to make those credits up in what we call night school. I didn't
act up back then.
See, you was preacher's boy.
Straight ass.
Yeah.
Yo, you know who I am in the hood? I'm the smart kid that everybody would protect. You know what I'm saying? And then, I remember there's this one dude he used to run the block. And he was in high school. I was in junior high school, and he made me do his book report. And I did his book report, and then he came and screamed on me.
So you had to be. You was like short. You was pretty short.
Huh?
You like short, like little homie, very short guy.
Like
did you grow? Like did you get like tall later?
I was regular. I was skinny, but I wasn't that short. But I just like they would just never let me do nothing. And he goes, "Yo, do this book report for me." Da da da.
Yes. See, that's the good thing. We that's what's kind of really missing in our time of generation right now.
100%.
Protecting the guys like that because
they always tell stories
cool
of like
like
when they protect like the ball players.
Absolutely.
But they protect the smart kids too. Like
yeah,
the hood has so much good shit to it. It gets mutilated in movies. It's all nasty hood shit. Everybody getting shot. I mean, yeah, that was happening, but there was a lot of family value shit.
That's a fact.
Definitely. And like
fact.
you said, to go back to the hustler thing, even the grimiest people, most of them have the purest heart. They do that griminess out of necessity to take care of a child that was born.
The hustlers that fed the block.
Right.
First of all, living on a drug dealer block is the safest block because they don't want no trouble on. You know what I mean? When you live in one of those real, not projects is a little different because it's like the building.
Yeah.
But
you want to keep this block real safe, so. Because when it's gunshots and happening and shit like that, ain't no money coming through the block. So you got to keep the block quiet so you can do what needs to be done.
Yeah, so that's what always gets left out of all these stories. And then so this guy made me do his book report, and he comes and yells at me, "What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck?" He said, "I got an A-." So he goes,
did it too good.
Yeah, he goes, "Yo, the teacher ain't gonna believe I got a fucking." He goes, "Do my book reports the night before."
Yo. That's crazy because when we was
he's smart enough to know that though.
We was about to graduate and it was a dean and we went to graphic high printing. They call it graphic communicating art, Cybertron. And everybody know who we were in the school and what we was doing. And they called my name for an award to walk across the stage to get it. And I was so shocked that they called my name and he let me get to the half point of the stage to accept the award, and he jumps up and be like, "Oh no, are you fucking crazy? Not him. He's not getting anything." I said, "Oh man, this was crazy."
Wait, was it a mistaken identity or
nah?
It was your name, but they were like, "No, he can't get it."
Exactly, like he said, his teacher isn't gonna believe he got an A. And it was like, nah, this can't be. Hell no. This has to be the wrong name on this award. But shit, I graduated. I got my diploma. Yeah, we went to the same high school. Graphic Communicating Arts, which was on
like a specialty school.
GCS. It was a school, yeah. You had to take a test to get in there.
I went to aviation.
Oh yeah. We grew up in Hell's Kitchen, man. Right in Manhattan on 49th, 10th, and 12th Avenues, right over there. Where it's so crazy. The school was called Printing, formerly known as Printing, where they would do screens of T-shirts to make T-shirts and clothing, and that's what's leading the hip hop merchandise right now of how to do these garments, straight the garment, everything. And we literally was in high school taking that up, not even knowing that would be the path of our destination that we'll be riding with now.
So an album, that's the physical thing you can buy from an artist now.
Yeah,
it's not the CD, it's the shirt or the hoodie.
Right, it's the merch with it. You are the brand. You are your brand.
By the way, even when you look back at it now, like even the boot camp brand, for example, the Duck Down, the boot camp, all of it, it wasn't that easy to get merch at that era. Like I remember I eventually, the closest I could get, and I wish I still had it, I don't. I eventually got a Wreck t-shirt, like the black Wreck t-shirt with the logo on it.
With the record shooting through the head.
Yeah, with the record shooting through the head. But that was hard to like really, living in DC, that was some hard shit to get.
Ever sent a self-addressed envelope.
I did once. I did it for the Far Side. I kid you not.
We didn't have the online shops, right?
Right.
7 months it took, I think, maybe close to a year for me to get that shirt back. I still fucking have it. The Bizarre Ride.
So I was about to ask you that. Is it like appreciation? Because it's certain t-shirts that we're gonna keep till the fucking thread.
Oh, that Far Side shirt's worth a lot too. Those old that era of hip hop shirts worth a lot because they're really hip hop wasn't doing a great job selling the shirts.
Right.
There was no way to really turn around and move it unless you went to the concert and went to the merch stand. That was like the only. And you guys had such cool branding.
Right. Right.
Like, so wait, so what? So to Cipha's point earlier, though, around the time that you guys connected with Buck, was he already fully in with Drew and moving, or were things not moving yet?
No, Buck was just coming off. Well, not even coming off. Buck had, they just released Who Got the Prop. So at that time, he was not when we met him, but when he started coming into the joint.
Right.
Okay.
So he was
hold
still.
on. You real quick. I'm sorry. So you're Bed-Stuy.
I'm Bed-Stuy, Brownsville, and Buck is really Crown Heights, Franklin Avenue.
Yeah, he's right.
FAP.
And then Crown Heights, Canarsie. I mean, not Canarsie. Bushwick, and Coney Island.
Buck was moving all over the place.
Y'all represent Brooklyn.
Yo,
yeah,
everywhere.
A whole nother level.
Bucktown is everywhere.
Really, for real.
It's so true. All right, so he's after a little while he's moving around with Who Got the Props.
Yes.
Then,
and they start working on the album because you guys obviously appear on the album. So by the time they're making the album, y'all are crew. So then we get Black Smif-N-Wessun.
Yeah.
I think we might have recorded Who the Man first with Havoc first.
Oh boy.
And then we did Black Smif-N-Wessun. That came, I remember that night we was in a limo it was me, Still, Buck, and I want to say we was waiting for Chuck Chill Out. We had just got finished performing somewhere. Well, when I say we, it was Buckshot and Black Moon just got finished performing somewhere. We would come out with the what they call Pooh Shiesties now, with the ski mask, the original ski mask, and do Nothing Move But the Money under the deep cover beat. So that was really our first single that we were planning on releasing.
But that ended up being a bootleg, the Nothing Move But the Money.
Exactly.
I have it on one of those red. I have it on like a red Wild style bootleg or Buck Wild bootleg or whatever. That's all I have for that.
We couldn't get it cleared. We couldn't get it cleared.
Perform those verses over the deep cover beat.
We would perform those with the ski mask. Buck would give us a little window, let us rock out, introduce Smif-N-Wessun.
Wow.
Is that that's not on streaming anywhere, right? Nah. Syph, do you know that record? Syph, you know this joint?
We did two versions too.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Smif-N-Wessun songs.
Really? Because honestly, I don't think I knew it definitely till after. It was a little bit later that I got my hands on it.
Yeah, because then the actual singles was Bucktown and Let's Get It On. One side was an A side, the other side was a double A, because we couldn't decide which would be the first single.
So when you were recording your first album, you had Nothing Move But the Money.
That was one of the first songs. Yeah.
Well, let's give him a take.
That was in the stash.
And so you do that verse over deep cover beat, and then you try to put it on the album, and they wouldn't clear it.
For people who don't know, if you don't know it, because I guarantee you there are fans out there who don't know this record. It's
absolutely.
You got to get that on eBay. You got to bid on that. That's the clean version.
Yeah, that might be the second one.
That's something me.
And what's so crazy when we was trying to get these songs cleared, it was cursing in like the vocals, and Buck was one of the masters to go in and recut his whole vocals to make the records clean.
Yeah.
Like he would give the audience whole new verses and raps, and you'd be like, yo, that's insane. And sometimes the cleaner version came out tougher than the original.
That's so funny too.
When I was at A&R, and I would tell rappers they had to do clean versions, I would play stuff like that. I'd be like, see how he read? They're like, nah, just reverse it. I'm like, just rewrite this one line. Rewrite this line.
Buckshot was a master at that, man, and he would make it seem effortless. And I think we picked that up in our work ethics.
So, but then this that Black Smif-N-Wessun was so crazy, and You the Man. And by the way, that is a pretty cool look. At that point, you guys had to be, when the Black Moon thing started blowing up, you guys had to be pretty stoked because Enter the Stage did among heads. That shit was a really popular album.
Yeah, some call it a classic.
I would call it such a thing.
I would definitely call it a classic. But yeah, we was. I don't think we was grasping what was going on because we was so
young.
We were still so young and so hyped just to be there in the moment of it.
And it wasn't our record. We wasn't getting no money.
It wasn't ours,
you know
right?
Like it wasn't like here's your guys' advance. Like that don't trickle down to us. We still going back to the hood. And we still, trying to look for the dope weed spots.
So wait, so at this point, what's your relationship with Drew? You guys don't have an official relationship yet?
Nah, just Drew, we just meeting him. Drew is cool. Yeah. He's an A&R. He's running around with Buck. And like we clicked with him immediately.
We just meeting a white boy that drove a dope white Subaru hatchback.
Yeah, I think
were piling.
I think we the first people that brought Drew High to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Tech and I brought him to Bed-Stuy and had him play basketball, and he got busy too.
Well,
white man can't jump.
Drew was actually a good athlete. He did football, basketball.
He's like, I'm only going to Bed-Stuy, not to Brownsville though. I can't go that deep.
Easy.
This is it.
So when did you get a deal? When did you guys get your own deal?
After the Black Moon was situated, and we was talking about our talks. Then we was on because we was on the album. Michael Weiss wanted to seal that deal. He didn't want us walking away with that type of look.
So it's still not ducked down yet. It's still just nervous.
It's nervous records.
Is Drew managing you guys?
At this point, he's definitely advocating for us because no one else is speaking. No one else is talking.
Yeah, it's not all corporate terms. It was all loose.
Right.
It's like
it's all friendship, original bonds being made. But at this time, he knew of what you call now the boot camp clique.
Right.
Like he would hear these guys and start meeting. Everybody would be coming around for the Black Moon studio sessions and Smif-N-Wessun session at the Dog Hilly. So now is really starting to take on a life of his own.
Yeah.
But Buckshot
really becoming a grade 8.
Buckshot was the advocate though, because I had put out music prior to that was like on different variety shows back in the days, like on Channel 57 and things of that nature. And this is where I had got familiar with his sister. So I had got a contract one time, and I took it to Buck to look at my contract. Buck is a super smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so he always had this overdrive, this business hustler. He's a super hustler too, right? So getting with Drew High was a no-brainer. He always was like, tech is still. You got to meet these guys. And when he finally met him, it was already like our name preceded itself. So every time we brought another boot camp member, we were smart enough not to bring the whole entire boot camp up there for obvious reasons. But we would bring a Rock, because Rock he was already busting his gun. You know what I mean? The other guys didn't come till later. Wasn't really developed till later. Sean Price, although we knew Sean Price from school, Sean wasn't even rapping yet. Rock discovered that he was rapping later on. So these things was happening. It was like on the job training, and it was happening so organically. Like none of it was contrived, none of it was forced. And like even to the point where Rock was like, yo, I found my partner. You know who it is too. He's from Brownsville. Sean. I'm like, Sean, that crazy oh man, you bugging. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, these things just work the way they work. And we was building it up. So by the time our album came, we was like, all right, we're gonna put all these guys on our project.
Yeah.
So you can imagine Mike was like, all right, so we're gonna sign these guys. We was like, nah, we're not having it. We're not doing it. We're not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
Not this time. Hence, Duck Down was created.
So it was formulating as we was doing these things and bringing it on. They knew the necessity of having the management aspect.
So Duck Down originally, the first iteration of it, it's just management.
Yes,
it's just officially
started from Drew and Buck management,
and because they're still signed to the Nervous anyway. Like there's no deal to be done at that point, right? Because the first time we really hear it is the Duck Down on the I Got You Open remix, right?
Yeah.
So it's post album, but they're still y'all are all locked into a deal already with Nervous. It's not like you know what I mean? So
right.
It's just,
now keep in mind that maybe I don't know if people know it, but Chuck Chillout is responsible for getting Buckshot his deal at Nervous.
Right. Yeah, we know.
Drew was a intern. He worked
intern, right?
Again,
yep.
to Buck's hustling nature and spirit.
Right. He met
Buck
met Drew at Nervous Records.
Mm-hmm. Buck would be up there like he was working at Nervous Records, making the calls to everybody, and just like you said, being that hustler spirit, that hustler's nature.
No, we had that conversation with the Beat Miners like a year ago. They clearly put over Chuck and how important he was to this entire thing happening. Absolutely. What was the budget for The Shining? How much money do you guys have to play with, or did you have how'd that even work?
$75,000
all in.
Yeah.
75,000.
So when we came back, we were like, "Yo, come on, fam, what's poppin'?
Let's do this.
We know you making something. You know what I mean? Like, let's do it." And to us, $75,000 was a lot.
A lot.
Are you kidding me?
How old were you guys at the time?
I mean, we just still fresh out.
We're still in high school, about to be out of high school.
Wait, when you did Black Smif-N-Wessun, you were in high school?
No.
He was right out.
We was out. Yeah. We was finishing it. It's like such 18, a rush 19, of time. Like
it's kids
19-ish,
though.
20,
about that.
Going into there, going into that zone.
So 35,000 each. 30. That's
it was. We wasn't splitting that. You got a record budget,
the album budget.
That's album. But you can't advance.
So there was no advance. This was literally just the budget to make it.
No, I don't remember no advance. We probably might have got like $2,000 or something.
2,000, 2,500.
Yeah, 2,500 something. Because I give it to Drew. Drew was politicking for us, man. Like, get these guys something. We drinking. We was smoking weed and drinking hot chocolate. That's it.
That's how you know they were young, Cipha. They were drinking hot chocolate with their weed. That's how young they were.
It was senseless. It was like,
son, we got hot cocoa and we smoking this chocolate tie.
Cocoa Brothers. Yeah. That's actually how the name came. Like, we would be like, yo,
where's the broccoli?
Yeah, where's the Cocoa Brothers? We supplied all the chocolate weed to the Black Moon studio.
But we didn't know that you were also having hot cocoa. That's the crazy part.
You see the Cocoa Brothers album, right? You see the cup of
cocoa. Okay, you said earlier when the Black Moon album came out, it was cool, but obviously you're not feeling that much of it because honestly, I remember even as a fan early on, differentiation is hard when a group's new. So like, it's not like people knew well who you guys were. When Bucktown started to pop, did you feel like momentum that people were like aware of now who you guys specifically were?
I mean, for me personally, first of all, it was starting to build through the Black Moon because we all hung out together. We all would move to the different shows in the areas. Buck would hang out over here, would be on Franklin Ave with him in the Ville. So people was starting to put one and one together and was recognizing. And I think by the time I heard Bucktown actually play by itself on the radio, I think that was when I really was like, oh shit, it's on.
Who played it first?
Oh man, that part I don't. I want to say, was it Red or Flex? I want to say.
No, it had to be before that. It had to be Stretch or somebody. No.
No. Well, we would always be up at Stretch and Bobito.
Oh yeah, because you guys were already up there, right?
Yeah, we was already running through Stretch and Bobito. I mean, this was like a midday coming in at 1:30 afternoon after we done skipped school and was playing hooky or whatever. You hear Bucktown on the radio.
Because Bucktown was big enough at the time in DC. I don't know if you guys remember. There was for a limited period, they had an all hip hop station in DC called Flavor 1580.
Really?
Yeah, for like 2 years it ran this AM station. Yeah. AM station. Flavor 1580. Yeah. It was fucking crazy at the time. Like they took a bunch of the hip hop jocks and put them on from PG. It was a PGC station. So, DJ Flex was on it. Like different people who were on PGC were on there. Wow. And like I think Nonchalant was on there, had a show on there. And song Bucktown is on every day. You know what I mean? Like that's and Mobb Deep every day.
What was dope at that time was going to the colleges. Right. And I think that was the circuit where we was lucky enough
They probably went crazy.
We on like, you know,
we built it out there.
We follow Black Moon everywhere they went. We was opening up every show, so our name was like right there. When they shot videos, we was shooting our little videos too. It was like everything. That's the piggyback system. We learned that, and we was almost like living off of all of us living off of one budget. We got a little bit complacent with that until we got to Priority. We got that big deal.
So at this time, the Bucktown era for Smif-N-Wessun, who else? Obviously, we're talking all about your fam, but like who else outside of boot camp were you guys linking up with at that time?
What year is The Shining?
95.
95.
So like
I know that Buckshot, we was like everybody. Like we was kicking it with
Organized Confusion.
We was kicking it with everybody, bro. Everybody we can get around. Like
we would see them. We would see DOS Effects pull up in the park.
We already knew
with
Onyx.
Big like every day.
Right.
Onyx went to our high school. Sticky Fingers.
Buster came to the Dog Hilly a few times.
Craig G.
Like, but again, we was working on our thing. We was working on getting our thing solid. You know, just still trying to make sure the other foot was in the door.
Did you guys have any Biggie relationship?
Biggie is my brother. I would be with Big almost every day. See, it was. That's why I don't even know how we would find each other. It was like I would be on my motorbike or anything, and I just happened to look over to the right or the left, and Big is right there in the car. You park that shit, son. Come on, get in. Park up, and we would shoot the weed spots and just smoke all day, and it wasn't even really on no rap shit. This was just bad style brotherhood type shit that we would be fucking with each other. Because also, from Junior Mafia, our man Klepto went to graphic art, so that's how that patch was made.
Right.
So you would just hang with him on some smoke weed, kick it.
We would talk about going to the studio, and I don't even think he realized I was working in the studio because that came later on. Like just not too long ago, Caesar would tell me like, "Yo, Big used to tell us that you was his favorite rapper." That shit blew my mind. Like really, literally brought a tear to my eye. Like how does the GOAT say
tell me that?
Yeah, how does the GOAT say you're his favorite? It's like so.
Caesar told me. Wait, what did Big call you?
What did Big call me?
Yeah. It wasn't Tech, right?
Yeah, Tech.
Oh, Tech. Oh, yeah, because that's part of it. Because see, when I don't know if you guys know this, I used to DJ for Little Kim. C's used to be like, yo, Big loves Tech, bro. That's his favorite rap. One of his favorite raps. Because he'd be like, yo, because Big loves doo-wop tapes.
Yeah.
Because the story is Big never got on a doo-wop tape because the day they were going to finally do a WAP tape is when he got into the car accident and hurt his leg.
Right.
So he was like, yo, he loves doo-wop. And Tech is one of his favorite rappers. And like Big was like underground, like all the underground shit he used to like.
Dope.
He was underground, but he was the king then. He was making his rounds there. So everybody, if you was in Brooklyn, you drove or even walked or rode down Fulton Ave with a hope to catch a glimpse of Big out there and Junior Mafia, see them out there.
So even at that time when you were friends, did you already sort of admire him? Like, did you feel excited to get to hang with him, or was he like straight up just a regular homie, or it's like, oh shit, he's my homie, but he's the man also?
I mean, yeah, it was admiration there, but it wasn't no dick licking, no shit like that. That's my Gemini brother, you know. And we would hang out. We would literally pull up to weed spots to drag. Oh, hey, boy, yo, throw the keys down. We come up into the weed spot, lock the door, sit there for hours, smoking this, driving around and just bugging. And it's crazy. Like, I don't even think I ever seen Big drive one time. What?
He's not driving. He ain't walking in those steps.
Passenger seat would be in the back seat of a 4-door.
Super recline.
So when he says get in the car, so you're jumping in behind the driver?
Exactly. You definitely ain't getting in behind him. He don't even have to turn around and look back just turn to the side and you already.
Nah, but one time we got in the ride with him though when he came to the Dog Hilly and he was in the
Wait,
queue
what?
with Klepto. He came to
the
came to pull up. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the
Pull
queue was huge.
The queue was huge. That's
the Q45 was huge, and Klep had that gold.
But it's trippy though. It is to your point. It is trippy, man. Because it's deeper than rap because some people already like Big are already huge in their neighborhood. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like even Tech coming to Cephalo. I'm from Cephalo Project. Tech is huge. When he comes to Cephalo, he's like they want to touch his hair. You know what I mean? It's like he's coming through on a bicycle with no helmet. He looks like a wild renegade. He might have an afro. He might have a baldy. He's interesting. Like that's the thing about Brooklyn. You have all these interesting characters, and when you see them get together, it's like, wow, what are they talking about?
It is another world. Brooklyn is this weird planet.
The planet, Brooklyn.
The planet, that's right.
You will be famous in Brooklyn for some shit before you even get on. You know what I mean? Like it's different in other neighborhoods.
That's real. I mean,
Brooklyn is this weird fucking universe.
The internet doesn't know justice because it just makes everything even more, heightened. But it's definitely colorful, man. On so many levels. So for us, it's like a blessing for us to have been through so many neighborhoods. I think our core values come from the streets and not just being on some street hustler or dealer or, just maniac, like family values, being 10 toes out there in the streets with the consumers. We are the consumers. We're the fans. We definitely fans of Biggie. This is like, wow, I'm hanging out with Big. This is crazy.
How many?
It's kind of crazy because you could kind of really contribute the Mary J remix to Big.
Hello. Go on. Take us through it. Here we go. You're here to talk about it.
It was one day we had just finished, I think, the Bucktown remix video for Buckshot at Prospect Park. So again, we all in our regular, natural, general attire, fatigues, Timbs, everything. I mean, we had canteens, flashlights, the real helmets. And it was, I don't know if you guys remember, it was a show on the Intrepid, the ship that's parked over on the West Side Highway. Yeah. And we had just came from the video, so we mobbed deep, crazy, and fatigues. And Big had just finished performing there also. So when we performed, he seen us. He said, "Oh, take you." So we started kicking it, and Puff is over to like the side or whatever.
This is the whole boot camp in Junior Mafia, by the way, in one big circle, smoking
on the ship,
drinking on the ship.
Yeah, this is a crazy story.
Yeah, and
crazy.
And Big made the introduction. Like Puff was like, "Yo, we want to meet y'all and do something." He started talking about these. He has a new artist coming up, queen of hip hop and R&B. We should come to the studio, come do that Smif-N-Wessun thing y'all do. That back and forth thing. It wasn't even back and forth. It was the Smif-N-Wessun thing y'all do. Come do that Smif-N-Wessun shit y'all do.
Wow.
And that spearheaded it. We get to the studio, we see LL in there. Couple other people, and Puff was like, "Yo, I just want y'all to do what y'all do, baby." Like, man, we were 90,000.
The Mary J. Blige remix, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. You did two full-blown verses. Like, it's not like little 8 bars for the R&B remix. You made a whole song.
I mean, that's what we do, man. That's what we do.
You guys got the whole shit in the beginning, and then you're like, okay, that's the feature. Then y'all come on again.
Yes,
in the middle.
It's your song. Well, it's a complete collaboration. It's not a hip hop feature. It's a collaboration.
Right. It's dope. And I mean, she told us it's one of her favorite remixes. So big up the queen. We actually got to perform that for the very first time and only time to perform it with her in Brooklyn at the Barclays.
Whoa.
Man.
Yeah.
This song is already incredible.
Yeah.
It's that Chucky beat.
Like, you just think of how many other people just rock this beat.
This is how we do every day, all day, man. This is how we do. This is how we do. Smif-N-Wessun don't play. This is how we
The rafters. It was up in the rafters.
Almost passed out on stage, Cipha.
When was this?
Where am I?
This was what, maybe 2 years ago? No, this was a few years ago.
It was a few
recent.
years ago.
But recent. No, it's recent.
25. We're already at 25.
Well, was it post or pre-pandemic? Was it post or pre-pandemic is kind of the line.
No, it was after pandemic.
So yeah, so it's pretty recent.
Yeah.
Bro, this song of all the Mary remixes, because like the Mary hip hop remixes alone is its own category of
right.
hip-hop,
Absolutely.
Cypher, I think if we did a bracket, I think it ends up being number one.
I think so.
I think it's number one, bro. Like,
I think it is. I mean, I love going down with Mr. Cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That would be my number two, maybe.
That was fine. And then the Meth-N Mary.
Method, but that's
that wasn't a remix.
That's not a remix. No. Yeah, it's Meth-N Mary.
Yeah,
that was.
So but there's Mary and Biggie.
There is.
There's a couple. There's Mary and Pooh Bah.
Mary and Pooh Bah was tough too.
That's boyfriend and girlfriend. You can't even count that.
There's there's a lot. If we go through the whole list,
I think
there's
got
a lot.
one with Keith
Murray.
Murray.
The Keith Murray one's up there.
Right.
But I think I Love You's the one.
I won't hear no argument from me about it.
We take that all over the world, bro.
It's the perfect blend of the street shit, the street sound in the 90s and the R&B sound that Mary and Puff created.
Right.
And it's just the perfect blend. Like, it's literally the most perfect record.
Now, and it's a perfect song to perform with the audience crowd participation and everything. Switch the mood up and everything.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's got so much, and it's still like so many people. See, here's the issue. So many people had a moment where they might have been on like a cool R&B record or a more poppy record, but to play it at your show takes you out of the underground hip hop vibe, because y'all aren't playing poppy shows. Y'all are playing shows with people who want boom bap hip hop. So if you had a random R&B record that doesn't go, you kind of don't want. People will try to play it, but the crowd's like, "We get it. You did the song. We don't want to hear it." Whereas this shit works. This shit works. You can play it in the show. Like,
this shit rings. This shit rings. Yeah. This shit rings.
You take Mary's part out, or you leave a part of hers in?
Well, Still sings Mary's part.
Yeah, Tech hates it, but I can't. If it comes, it comes. I just let it go. Sometimes I be like, it's there. I don't even know what's gonna happen like that.
Wow. I'm gonna ask you guys the dumbest question.
Yeah.
It's actually not dumb. I think it's a genius question about a dumb question. At this stage in your life, because of that fucking song, do you have people who are now coming up to you and going, "So, did you ever go to a freak off?" Because I have people asking me Puff questions as if I have information. I'm like, I saw him at the radio station.
Nah. Probably jokingly, we got some silly friends, man.
Right.
Like, yo, man, y'all did that, Mary, yo. Nah,
but not seriously. They know that you weren't
we wasn't in that tax bracket.
Freak-offs came way later, bro.
Yeah, there were 95 freak-offs anyway.
No, there was.
There was.
It was some big
those 95 freak-offs was How Can I Be Down and Jack the Rappers. That's what those was.
Yeah, it wasn't the mansion in the Hamptons. White party freak off. Yeah, it was the pre freak off.
Yeah, but Cipha, you just did it too. You just did it. You just made the mistake too. Because the white party and the freak off are two different things too. The freak off may come after the white party at the same location, but like Regis Philbin's not still there when the freak off's going off. Regis already left.
You'd be surprised, bro.
Shit. Don't listen to Cipha. All right, guys. You know what was maybe the biggest? You guys had so many records to talk about, and that I played the shit out of, but I'm telling you right now, down there in Chevy Chase, Maryland, me and my suburban friends used to blast the fuck out of this right here.
Chase, man.
I walk around town with the pound strapped down. That's only because it's mad real in Bucktown. It gets
Does this get a lot of love at shows? This gets a lot of love at the shows, right?
No,
definitely. That's probably like one of the first couple of joints we perform at the show.
This is one of my favorites because of the sample. I love
the sample and the drums.
They break sneaks upon my camp once more. Niggas drowning in blackness stretched on the floor. Breakfast is the killer dealer from the sky. Oh boy, go heaven, but no boy one die.
Nah, this is one of my favorite joints though.
Yeah, this is the soldier walk to this. Wow.
Lyrically, track music, the aesthetics.
Nice guy. That's a great single. That One Time Stand Strong is a great follow-up single. I'll tell you what, the boot camp, you guys had an understanding. Everybody seemed to have an understanding of what it was to put out a single where you didn't just think about one side. You always thought about, we got to have two sides that hit.
Respect to the beat miners.
We used to label our joints side A and side double A, so one song wouldn't be stronger because we believe in both joints. So
yeah, I mean, according to the industry and the label, the video was the single, and that's the one they would. But to us in the streets and the fans, like all these
and
songs,
college radio.
The 12
college radio helped boot camp up a lot, man.
A lot.
College radio rolled with boot camp from the beginning.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you think your favorite Smif-N-Wessun song is, Peter?
I'm so glad you asked me this question. This is fun.
Could you answer?
I was worried you were going to ask them, and I'm like, who cares what they think? They made this.
That's how they would ask me.
Okay, so it's a great question, Cipha. I'm glad you asked it. It will come down to here. The conversation is going to be about Stand Strong. It's generic, but Bucktown does have to be in the conversation. And then it starts getting tough for me because there's the Bucktown USA remix.
Oh, what MOP?
With MOP.
Wow.
What it is, home skillet. Home skillet. This pain we bring to them, they gon' feel
it. Yo, their ad libs on that song are so hard. Oh,
they got some of the dopest ad libs. Period. There's not too many MCs you think that's dope when it comes to ad libs.
Oh no, they're among the best.
Jeezy, yeah, definitely.
Let me see if that's even, because I don't think that one's streaming. I think that one's only going to be a YouTube.
Right, we didn't put that out on.
That was a B-side of another single, right?
No, see, that's the other thing too. We was thirsty, man. We wanted to put out more music, and they like, yo, you only getting paid for 10 songs.
I know. That's how albums were.
We had no clue in it.
Bucktown, USA is the place where I rest. Zero thugs can't slug through their chest. And any day, just may be
Uncle Billy. Uncle Bill.
Get up in
I told you why I rap. Cause I was raised with a one-track mind and one black now.
I'm from the streets where the average man can become a killer. And it'll be your own fam to get you for the thriller. And my niggas.
But then,
backdooring was going on back then, man.
I can see why Big with like your vocals, probably for the same reason I do. Like being a person that coins himself as a rapper is gonna come with the style and all of that. Tech got style naturally, and I think the stories that you tell, the way you convey your stories, and then that piercing voice.
Yeah, that voice.
I'm from the streets with an attitude and become a killer. You're like, oh,
thank you.
This is serious.
I'm trying to get over. I'm trying to get into voiceover. So if y'all got the plug, show me the door. Let's
go.
By the way,
you'd be so good at that. You'd be so good at that.
Yeah. This I know.
By the way, you'd think that your friends you have in radio would be useful in this, except I've never made a fucking dollar in voiceover. I mean, it's commercial. Well, I make money reading commercials at work, but I've never been able. And I'm good at it. Like I literally last year won an award for a fucking commercial I did, and I've never translated it into the. You got to get a voiceover agent. Like
that's what it is, right? I have to get an agent. Yeah,
you gotta. But by the way, but here's the thing: someone listening to this episode right now could know someone.
Reach out. Yeah.
You gotta tap into the fact
on IG, General Still on IG,
because there are kids growing up who fucking smoked weed every day to your album who are now making the decisions at these companies.
Boom.
Yeah, that's
boom.
That's true. They don't even think they could touch y'all. And when they finally do, they get so excited because they are age, but now they head of whatever. And when they meet y'all or you get to work with y'all, they probably
patch in.
So
like
reach out.
Text Smokey Loud, IG, whatever.
So you asked the question though, but on the softer, slightly softer side relative to that Bucktown USA, I fucking love this too.
Is this the one you produced? That's the beat you did, though,
Yeah.
You produced this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Still, you did? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Early to rise, so wake before they break. Meditating on the steps I take. I realize there's a lot at stake.
How dope was the video? We had the bed on the corner of what? Belmont?
That was one of the best videos.
I can't believe that. And that got cleared, and you guys were able to clear that too.
We played it over. Yeah, that worked.
Yeah, you played it over, and who did the singing on it? Someone resung it too.
Oh no, we jacked that.
Okay, that's just so psyched. To answer your question, though, that's what's in the conversation. I don't know how to pick one, but I think those are probably my favorite.
It's impossible.
Great.
Cipha looking at Pornhub.
Cipha, stop looking at Pornhub.
No, I was looking at. I'll tell you why I'm looking at. So PNC is one of my favorite songs, and don't get the love at all, because you have so many other how would you say bigger performance songs.
True that.
Well, PNC got that smooth beat because I like the money. Not move with the money.
Smooth.
But then I also love
up there too.
See, I love both versions of Soundboy Burial. See, Soundboy Burial remix is a hack for when you DJ in real non-underground grindy parties. You could slide in Soundboy Burial remix right after Common the Light.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It got that remix. The R&B-ish little vibe, but you still kill it.
But the original.
The originals are different.
This is a different monster right here.
Don't say that part.
Well, sorry.
It's edited.
You can't play the show. The show is a rap. You gotta just.
Wow, rewind.
Yeah.
Wait, do you guys both have Jamaican roots?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, man. Man. Oh man, this is fire.
I play this regular song. This is a sample.
That's the original.
Yeah, that's right.
I just let this rock, bro. This is one of the illest songs.
Tough.
My little brother sent that to me. Guess what sample this is? I'm like, yo.
I rock this shit.
This is just a whole groove vibe by itself, man. It's just a vibe.
Bro, I got a playlist. It's like ill, weird songs like that, like samples, but samples you could play the whole song, not just like one little horn part that Pete Rock found.
I like
that shit in
music.
Dave Chappelle's house.
I love music like that, man.
Yo, Dave is like, yo, what's this? I'm like, yo, it's from Smif-N-Wessun. I played it. He's like,
there you go.
You guys have a lot of fucking records for it.
Yo, but
we got a new record out right now called Infinity.
You produced this one too, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, B minus toes, because I asked who did this.
Yeah.
And he said they did it.
Yeah.
Now, did you get this from rhyming on this beat on the doo-wop tape?
Yes.
And you're like, yo, we could just make this
straight jack.
A straight joint.
Yep, that's a fact. It was rocking when you did that.
It
was a cold day in December. I remember it well. The motivation, the stimulation of the head cell. Ooh, why should I even know that? What's wrong?
I forgot that you did on the doo-wop tape first.
What? That was a dope.
Nah, because back then, even doo-wop had shit. Doo-Wop was putting rappers to shame on his tapes back then.
I love her.
B.
That's why I had to marry
Doo-Wop's one of my
Joanna.
favorite rappers.
Let's see if this.
And I heard there's this session going on. Doo-Wop invited mad niggas to come and join. So guess who? Yes, Smif-N-Wessun, we stacked the chocolate in the 5-0 sack with mad font so black a ting we bring. Over smoking in you. If you like to get black, swing on by the back in your rhyme. Cocoa B, R-O, black. Getting mad.
I got a slab of corned beef in the yard, man.
My red man right
so with a double A black.
You just talked about Tech's voice. It shit comes in so crazy.
Crazy. Piercing.
God, you're right.
My bread dread ready, heads ain't ready. Doo-Wop chop turntables up like machetes, getting bent in the queue is the daily thing to do. Well, beat me in the Timbs on 2/5 coming through in the zone on my own.
He taking you through the hood.
So on my head to lock, I see you when you get home. It's like this. Yeah, word real. SPH in the joint. I'm time smoking nothing but the cocoa. Cocoa brothers represent.
This was making these records was fun too.
I remember this.
Making these records was so fun because it wasn't really about a monetary thing back then. It was just you doing what we love to do, what we got into doing, and it wasn't.
It felt so pure, but you could feel it.
Yeah. The energy was crazy. Even when you got invited to do these doo-wop mixtapes, it was like receiving an award. Like, oh shit, they get it. Okay, yeah.
Salute to Tony
on
Touch,
that joke. Definitely 50 MCs.
And people don't know this. Doo-Wop's from the Bronx. Y'all from Brooklyn. On a map, it's right there. On a map, it's right there. In New York culture, it's another planet. Right? And sometimes we would meet in the middle in Manhattan for different reasons. High school clubs. You know, that's where some of the offices were. But that was where we gotta go up to the Bronx. I mean, I don't know.
No, but me and Tech was already doing that.
Yeah, because again, we was high school in the city, so that was nothing to get there.
Yeah, we was very adventurous, man. We was going uptown to get the bud. You know, Tech was the first one that was bringing the what would you call that from the Bronx?
From the Bronx?
Puerto Ricans?
That bud. Nah, it was that kind of bud.
The haze?
It was like the Hawaiian, not the Hawaiian. The Hawaiian was the hydro.
The dro?
Yeah, hydro in jars. Like jars. What is this? Like
I was getting the A Black from 105th.
A Black, right.
On the east side. Yeah. So it was crazy. Then the Tyson was in Brooklyn, Branson. Oh man, we was all over the place.
Did you guys have much of a relationship with Mobb Deep in that era, in the Yuta Man and after era?
Yeah. Tech. I mean, Buck was rocking with them hard, man. It was like, I guess because they, they shared.
That was all 5'8" and
I was trying to stay away from.
You guys like fraternity brothers. Your line brother, he's on the same height.
Yeah, your tribe. Word.
Yeah, so they was on deck. They was rocking with each other. What a lot of people don't know is that we did a remix to You the Man where Prodigy was on it, and Drew High was on it, but he was kind of, his raps wasn't hitting. So I think it was like, nah, we ain't gonna do this one.
Wow.
Then we also had the other joint with Prodigy for the Easy Mo B joint.
Pledge Allegiance.
Yeah, Pledge Allegiance.
Is this the You the Man remix? Let's see.
Yo, y'all can feel that, right? It's the next shit. Yo, y'all can feel that, right?
It says DJ Evil D remix, so it might just be a remix Evil D.
Nah, that one.
Yeah, okay.
Y'all can feel that, right? It's the next shit. Yo, y'all can feel that, right? It's the next shit.
It's just hard though.
You probably just took the original version.
You don't like it? You're not fucking with it?
Not the original version.
So wow, there's a Prodigy verse there too. Interesting.
That's the you. Wait.
That's You the Man, right?
Yeah, that's
You the Man.
Nah. It wasn't totally. Oh, it's a Prodigy verse on that one.
No, I don't know. It just came up. I just searched on.
The one we rhymed was a different beat. We had a different beat.
Like you said, I think it's just the Evil D remix.
Yeah, I think he went back and did something with Nervous and something like that. That's one of those types.
How was shit weird? I guess particularly for you, Tech, but everybody, when the Biggie Pac shit got crazy, was it weird for you?
It was kind of weird, yeah, honestly, because this is my brothers and that was my brother too. But on different levels. But we would still be kicking in and talking on the phone and everything. And it's just like, sometimes brothers fight. And as men we got to the bottom of it, what it was. And we still moving on to this day, you know what I mean? C's are still my brothers, Gutter, all of still in the style. We still, but it was kind of weird at the beginning. Because I knew how it was gonna come first, like not really to the extent of what it was gonna come, but when I first seen it, I was like, yo, this is not even funny. I don't think why are you doing this? This and what you think is going to happen is not going to happen the way that you're thinking it or projecting it to happen. So, it was kind of weird for a little bit, but you
were still, but you got to know Pac after you knew Biggie, correct?
Correct.
But you were still cool with everybody at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, we had different relationships. Again, as Pac was a Gemini, Big is a Gemini, I'm a Gemini, so. I was able to hang with each one on their own time, on different times, and it never got weird at that point where one would be saying something about the other one to me. I never allowed that, and I think they never even tried to do that in any type of way. So that was something that was a bond and a time and a memory that's just.
Were they very so like this is the great thing about us as human beings is we all have different versions of ourselves with different people and different relationships with different people. And you could be friends with one person and friends with another person, and they would never be friends. Now, in the case of Tupac and Biggie, it's not true, of course, because they were friends. Because they were friends. But that being said, were they very different hangs? Like
no, you would see a lot of each other in each of them. Big was wild funny, just as Pac, and he had his serious times just the same way. So it was, as long as it was an atmosphere where it wasn't nothing that was dangerous that you had to get into, then you wouldn't even, it would just come across as a regular, I'm hanging with my man, we doing here on different coasts, same joint. But it was actually just like, not the same person, but there was major similarities there.
I guess in my head, the only thing that I think of as being markedly different between the two of them, based on this, of course, based on nothing but listening, watching, reading, whatever, is that I don't know about Biggie having the super serious kind of political side that Tupac seemed to be passionate about.
Yeah, that's something that was separating because Big was find the funny shit in the most not funny situations. And that's how he would handle and carry it. Again, Pac was born into the Black Panther, raised by rest in peace Afeni. So when you brought up in different situations like that, that's what you live and learn.
Do you guys look back at your lives now and like just marvel at how crazy, like not only do you have your own incredible music careers and fans across the world who love your shit, as you guys are simultaneously two of the most regular, you can bump into them at any event, random event in the park in Brooklyn, regular guys.
I ran into Tech at the Scratch Bassett thing, South Street Seaport, with my kids. He met my kids.
Just walking right.
And they're like, "Who's your friend, Daddy?" I'm like, "That's one of the greatest rappers ever." Like,
no, and I've had random
humble
bump-ins
soul, man.
Very much so. But you guys are both mad regular. But you have fans all over the world, and on top of that, as observers and fans of hip hop, Steel, like y'all both got to see and be around at the craziest fucking time.
Yeah, indeed.
Wait, you ever had a regular job?
Yeah, I had several jobs, man. I'm a New Yorker. I'm a bona fide New Yorker, man. I did messenger jobs. I did telemarketing. I worked at D'Agostino's.
Which D'Agostino's?
Which D'Agostino's?
Was that
the law firm or the food?
The food
The supermarket.
Okay.
Yeah. I was delivering food in Park Avenue.
Wow.
I think when we heard Bucktown one time, we came and got you from your job, made you leave the food you was supposed to be delivering somewhere, the shopping cart on the street.
Nah, you.
And we just went to the studio.
No, not here. Nah, before my last job before I signed, I was working in Coney Island Hospital.
High school?
My dumb ass got left
Hospital.
back. Hospital.
Oh, hospital.
I got left back, so I had to take a course, an extra course in school, and I did a lot of goofy stuff. So
How was Coney Island Hospital?
It was cool. It was
okay. Cool.
Yeah, it was okay. I worked the part I worked in, man. I was in dietary, so I didn't see too much gruesome stuff. And one of my bros lived out there at the time, and I got to see him. His wife was pregnant. Came to the hospital. I thought that was trippy. This was my brother. He came to the hospital. His firstborn was there, and I was working there, so it was cool. It was a good experience until I got. And it's funny because at the time I was kind of like living in squalor. I didn't have a place to lay my head really, so I was sleeping at the job. I was sleeping in the locker
hospital.
room. Yeah,
in one of those rooms like in Grey's Anatomies where the doctors be fucking on the side.
Yeah, I would find a tough wall.
This guy is crazy.
But I had bad body odor. You know what I'm saying?
Ugh.
So I was trying to leave. I was embarrassed about that. I was like, I got to get out of here, man.
He said, "Why you have bad body odor?"
Yeah, wait, what do you mean?
I wasn't washing, dog.
Why you get one of the little nurses?
Yes, something does stink.
I had a great job, but I felt like I just came over here. So.
Do you smell that? Yes, something does stink.
Lady was like, "Daryl, it's you?" Oh yeah, sorry. You only get like two uniforms.
Yeah, this is
man.
crazy.
I have a home, so I was kind of living kind of crazy. So I wanted to get out of there, man.
Transparency.
So when we saw Buck on that show, what is it? It was like a Ralph McDaniels special.
I think it was definitely a video music box.
And Tech was giving out flyers, the 8x10s. I was like, I'm out
of here.
I
think that was at the Apollo. I think.
Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. My man got signed. I'm quitting.
That's when we performed at the Apollo. I think my jobs was what? I definitely did McDonald's. I used to work in a barbershop, cleaning up a barbershop. And I worked at our PNC. Our PNC and his dad owned a construction company. Rest in peace. And I worked with rebars and things like that. So yeah, we had jobs.
Tech, what year did you do the face tattoo?
What year?
Yeah.
Oh, man, what year was that? I can't remember the exact year, but the face tattoo came as a deer. It was what my man Potato at his
What could go wrong with Potato?
Yeah.
Potato tells you to do something.
I was at my man Potato's birthday party. I think it might have been like his second or somewhere between 2 and 5 birthday party, and it was it was adults and kids, but nobody was really mingling. It was just so it was like I did. It was it was some face paint going on. The client was like, I dare you get the tat you was talking about, the Tyson joint. I'm like, it's a kid's party. Why would I do that? It's like, nah, I dare you. You said you was gonna get it.
Like get the face paint.
Yeah, it was a face painting the kids' faces. So once I went over there and sat down, all the kids and the adults started gathering around. So now they're talking like, what is he doing? It's going crazy. What's happening? So when I got up, it was the Tyson tat. They're like, oh, yo, is that real? Like, you just see me sit here and paint it on him. So it's like, no, it really looks good, but I think that looks good. My dumb ass, word, you think it look good? Oh, I might just happen to get it for real. So one time I go to a henna shop in the dead heat of the summer. I didn't know you wasn't supposed to put henna on your face. And I got the tat again. And when I came home, my mom was like, nah, you Biggs, you gone too far. You get that shit out of here.
Far, Biggs.
Get that out of here. But by the time I went to get it, I let it, disappear. It had already burnt into my face, into my skin. So it was permanent now. It was just a burn of the image of the tattoo. So instead of walking around with
wait. This story's so fucking nuts. This story's fucking insane. And by the way, I don't blame Potato. I blame you. Okay.
Nah, I don't blame Potato, but it transformed my character into who I am.
It did.
Today, man. Yeah. And I
you
think
didn't know it would be
I found
light.
my tribe. And yeah, because it's also a symbolization of tribal. Like, I don't know if you ever seen the Alien Predator movies when he would kill his enemy and take over or whatever, he would mark himself with the tribe, with their enemy's blood. It was rubbing on his face. It was sort of like this. So it's a tribal thing. And then Tyson, that's our tribe, Brooklyn brothers. So
by the way, that's what I always thought was like. It could. I felt it was like this, like, Tyson Brooklyn thing. It made sense. If for some reason it made sense, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like when I'd see you, it didn't feel odd. I was like, yeah. And by the way, you didn't know all these years later that your face tattoo would be light compared to what face tattoos look like now.
No, I was like one of the first rappers with a face tattoo.
Right,
bro. But now you turn on the Grammys, or you see Jelly Roll. You're like, you barely have face tattoos next to these guys out here.
Right, yeah. But nah, like I said, it I think it helped define me. It gave you a more beautiful picture and perspective of who I was without me even knowing it and acknowledging that of myself.
Let's do some bonus shit.
You want to do bonus shit?
First of all, listen, anytime we get to hang out with some of our favorite rappers who are also, by the grace of God, our friends, it's awesome. The new album, Infinity, Smif-N-Wessun, is out now. Go stream it, go buy it, go support it. Real hip hop Wanep fans, you know what we do.
Yeah.
And if you want to hear more with Smif-N-Wessun, we're going to spend a little overtime with them on the Patreon. So join us over there. But guys, thank you so much. You always have an open door policy. You had something you got to promote. You want to come on, you come hit us.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Someone's in your house, Tech.
Day one. Somebody in your crib, bro.
Watch out, bro.